Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hyperconscious Podcast. Alan, what is hyperconscious?
Once you understand why something is the way that it is, now you have the power to change it. Great conversations with great people and great questions are the keys to the kingdom of unlocking your consciousness.
Every single action that you do starts as a thought. When you control the way you think, you will control the way you act, and you will control the way you live. That is hyperconscious. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hyperconscious Podcast is proudly sponsored by our friend and mentor, David Meltzer of the Playbook Podcast. He was kind enough to join us on episode 144 and 135.
Folks, it has become Kevin and I's mission in life to help you realize that the life of your dreams is right on the other side of you becoming the greatest version of yourself. Let us help you do that.
I rarely do these things twice in such a short amount of time, but you guys impress me. I believe in people that provide value and of our service. You two guys are on your way to huge fulfillment, purpose, and profitability, and I look forward to helping you both.
We appreciate that more than you know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyperconscious Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where Alan and I got to sit down in California in person with the one and only Brant Pinvidic at his house in his movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, that was an
And
interesting...
I quote, reject average. And he said, I have 4 mini horses. Alan, mini horses are useless. I've got 4 of them.
Brant is a very regular dude with... a great head on his shoulders. He's the funniest man. That was a great episode.
He's hilarious.
That was a great episode. Great night, too. He cooked hibachi for us.
Dropping
Today,
Sunday.
No, it dropped Sunday. Today's Monday.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Today, we're going to do a 5-minute clinic on clarity. Before we do, Alan's going to tell you about something quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So before we jump into this episode, quickly, I want you to go to the hyperconsciouspodcast.com, click on join, #HyperconsciousNation. Folks, no one succeeds alone. I want you to go in that group, talk about your goals and dreams openly, because that's going to start the law of attraction, intention, attention, all the things.
And I am not going to tell you about anything because you're going to see why in a second. So we're going to talk about clarity today. I believe that sometimes in order to find how important your gift is, you have to see other people searching for theirs. So as you know, we were in California last week for the Influencer 2019 event. And I realized very quickly that the clarity that Alan and I have in our lives is unbelievably important, and it's far greater and far more specific than a lot of people have. I realized that very quickly. And being around people, when they, like, Brendan would have break-offs, and you'd go into a group of 5 people,
right?
And he would say, okay, these are the 3 questions I want you to ask and answer with each other. And one of the repeating themes, the recurring themes was, what is your gift you want to bring to the world? What is your passion? What is your purpose? Alan and I know ours because we talk about it every day.
Right.
But there was a lot of people who didn't know what they wanted to do. They wanted to help others, but they weren't sure how. Or they were trying to get on social media and they didn't know how. And I just realized very quickly that we are blessed to have the clarity that we have. And we're blessed to be able to do what we love every single week, every single day, honestly. So that was a breakthrough for me. For you... think about, you really have to sit down and imagine, Dr. Nikki said this, imagine if you never had to worry about money again. What would your life look like? Because that's the bottleneck for most people, it's money. Imagine if you never had to worry about money again, what would your day consist of? What would your life consist of? What are the things that you would look forward to? What would you do to get out of your comfort zone? What would you do to continue growing and evolving? That's the one thing that I'm learning, that this is my passion. This is my purpose. I'm unbelievably clear on that. We've been doing it for 2 years, and we just started monetizing this business recently. Right? So that's how you know it's your thing. And I also realized very quickly that Alan and I have a very unique gift that we can bring to this world. And for more now than ever, I believe in that. So I have literally had a training program on the website for 7 months. And nobody knows about it, most likely, because I haven't talked about it, because I didn't believe in it.
They shouldn't just know?
Right. Yeah, you don't know everything I do. I didn't really believe in it. And My goal in this is not to pitch you or sell you or anything like that, but I just want you to know that when I put that program out, I didn't have a high level of belief in it because I didn't know how badly people actually would benefit from it. And I learned that very quickly from talking to high performers at this Influencer Academy. So for you, you have something that other people want, most likely.
Right.
If you're far more clear on something, I want you to spread that gift with the world. And imagine yourself doing that. Imagine you releasing a training program, or imagine you having a podcast, or imagine you dog sheltering.
Dog sheltering.
Whatever it is for you, I want you to do it. And if you want to buy my program, you can do that too.
Dog sheltering is now officially a verb.
Yes, on this podcast. I took the whole time. Now you have 5 minutes.
So I can attest. I remember listening to Kevin record this while I was in my room in Jacksonville. Shout out to Terrence. Thanks again for letting us stay with you.
T-Mac attack.
And you did it all in one take, and then
Yes.
you broke it up into modules. He worked super hard for a full month on that program. And it really is what changed his life, which is figuring out who you really are, what your unique gifts and talents are, who you want to be, and what you want, and then figuring out what your vehicle is to achieve that. So if you do feel like you lack clarity, one thing I'll tell you from full immersion events, especially the one we just went to with Brendan Burchard and all of his peers and speakers, they all have a ridiculous amount of clarity about who they are, why they are here, and who they aspire to be. I'm going to say that again. Who they are, why they are here, and who they aspire to be. And they're all connected. Lifestyle design starts with how much you know yourself and who you aspire to be, and then how you're going to get there. So that's what that mindset program will give you. So,
Shining endorsement.
not a bad one.
Not a bad
Not a
endorsement.
bad one.
Shining.
Well, someone has to sell you because, you know,
Appreciate
goddamn. No, I'm kidding. That was strong work. All right, so story time. Clarity. One of the reasons it's funny, if you want to change the fruit, you have to change the root. Okay, Alan, what the hell does that mean? One of the things that I find most fascinating is that whenever I find someone that admires something that I'm doing or someone that I've become, one of the things that they don't really know, unless they're really, really, really close to me, is my purpose prayer. And what's interesting is that every action I take, every thought I have, every feeling is filtered through this prayer. And if there's anything about me that you admire, on some level, the deepest root of that, you're seeing the fruit. If there's any fruit that you admire, hopefully there is, the root of that is this purpose prayer that I said to myself earlier in the shower. I say it every single day. I've said it every single day for 4.5, maybe 5 years at this point after my car accident. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm up in New Hampshire, and it's winter, and I'm driving my little cousin to TGI Fridays. I'm looking down at the GPS. The GPS is telling me to go left. I thought the road stayed left. It actually stayed right. There was no yield sign. I was supposed to yield and didn't. I ended up on the wrong side of the road, and I look up from the GPS. It felt like a millisecond. And I see a lift-kitted truck with the brightest lights I've ever seen, like literally 10 feet from me. It was the scariest moment of my life to this day. I'm shaking just thinking about it. Not only is my life in my hands right now, but my little cousin, who's only 17 years old, is in the front seat with me. So I had that gut check moment of, oh my God, is this going to be it? Fortunately, I had a Volkswagen Passat 2004. Those things are absolute steel traps. Thank you, German engineering. Both airbags went off. Also, thank you. Luckily, my little cousin, I could show you a picture of the car. I do in my speeches just because it makes it more powerful. This car was totaled, like beyond totaled, because this truck was huge. Fortunately, my little cousin was not hurt. He hurt his knee. I hurt my face a little bit on the airbag, but generally speaking, we're okay. Fast forward, my snow globe was so shaken I cannot even describe to you, because for those of you who don't know, many of you do, but for those new listeners, my father passed away in a car accident when I was 2 years old, when he was 28 years old. At this time, I'm 26 years old. Okay, I have what I think my whole life ahead of me, bright future. I've spent 26 years trying to figure out how to be a great man, and I've invested so much in this education, master's degree, bachelor's degree, all that stuff. This gut check, I'm sitting in an armchair, drinking whiskey, contemplating, questioning everything, questioning why am I here? If that was it, would I have been proud of the man I become? And similar to the Brendan Burchard thing, did I love, did I live, did I matter? For me, it's more of this. I felt a little bit of regret. Now, this is one of the hardest things to admit, but I felt a lot of regret, actually, not a little bit, a lot of regret for the way that I lived, okay? For those of you who don't know a lot about my past, I had a drinking problem. I was not maximizing my potential. I was working in corporate America selling industrial automation equipment, which literally takes away jobs. So the better I do, the less jobs there are for the world, which if you know anything about the economy right now, that's very bad for people that start from the bottom in terms of their education. So if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem, and I was part of the problem, okay? This, for me, was the moment of, did I courageously chase my dreams? Did I stay true and authentic to who I really am? Did I fight for what I believe in, or did I just go with what others told me I should do? Did I love fiercely? Did I love openly? Was I honest? So, for those of you who have not had that moment yet, it's coming. But don't wait until it comes. That is where my purpose prayer was born. Very few people know it. I've shared it with only those closest to me. But it's something I've recited every day since. Figure out why you are here. And don't wait for one of those moments. Because like me, you might have that regret of, what if my whole life was wrong? So that's what I want to leave you with. My challenge for you today is to figure out, think of a loved one right now that you love more dearly than anyone else in the world. Picture that person right now. Now, imagine what it would be like if you lost that person. That is the dark. It doesn't get any darker than that. When you're in the dark, that is when you're going to see your true north. And whatever that is for you. So put yourself there, find your true north, and live from that why. And I know I went over, I'm sorry.
Fire story.
Thank you, brother.
Is that it? Yeah, that's all we got?
That's it. 10-second blip from Kev.
10-second blip. My goodness gracious. In order to reverse engineer the future that you want, you have to first be clear on what it is you want. And that is where clarity comes in.
Strong work.
That was 8 seconds, maybe.
8 seconds. Strong work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Up next, we are going to do a Scratching the Surface, Small Talks episode on leadership, hyper-conscious leadership.
Hyper-conscious leadership. I'm pumped for this one, man. Leadership is a huge focus for
That's
for
your
me.
jam. That's something I want to get better at, so I am hoping to learn and teach, and I'm hoping you will learn so you can teach.
Fire.
Well, okay.
We will
Talk to you soon.
talk to you soon.
Bye.